Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, and welcome to the Just Keep Swimming podcast. It's your friend, your boy, your host, Mr. Adrian Jackson, and we back at it again, live, baby, in my living room this time. And you already know who I got with me. It's the man, the myth, the legend. It's Mr.
1-3.
Yes, sir. How we feeling today, Mr. 1-3?
Feeling great, bro. I don't know if the audience noticed, but we got our little tea set going on. We vibing, chilling. How y'all be?
Pinky out, please. Pinky out.
Always.
Always pinky out. Yes. But I hope y'all doing well today. Thank you guys for joining us again for another great live episode. And already in the background, you already know we got Mr. TzMac back there. Mr. Producer Tz, how we doing today?
Yo, we doing good. We here.
Yes, sir.
We alive. This is a dream. You know, it's not just the American dream. This is our dream.
We making it happen, bro.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, we're the ones right now.
Yes.
Materializing
And making it happen wherever we can.
We are it. Yeah.
Like we really walking around with
People
want to
be us. We're black in America. You know?
They hate us because they ain't us.
Hey, for sure. We're here. Let's go.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Let's rock right into it. Sorry, this tea is hitting a little too good right now. I'm over like tipsy off of tea right now. I ain't never been tipsy off of tea before, but I can feel it. But today, fellas, I think I have a fun episode for us today. A little cool topic that I know that we all for sure have united with because we're all brothers. And I think Tz was actually the first person to really get me into gaming. But I want to talk about video games today and how video games can kind of relate back to us in life of who we are, how we act compared to how people act on video games, how they act in real life, how that stuff correlates, and just little other stuff like that, you know? So with that being said, we're going to start off with my first question. Why do you game?
Why do I game?
Why do you game? Nice and simple. You know me.
I mean, first, I would say more so it's just a fun pastime. It's kind of like reading a book or watching a movie, except you're also just doing something. And you can go on these wild-ass adventures where you can have like a competitive match against your other brethren or other people around the world for that matter.
Right.
And kind of connect in a unique way, whether it's like as rivals or as just, we play the same game. Let's, just team up, especially with online gaming. But, I mean, back in the day, too, just,
You still could do that.
Yeah. And then even then, like, before the internet and shit like that, you can just come over and watch somebody else play a game and be able to like have just as much fun as they are.
For real.
I just feel like it's just a good place of unity and like a break from the real world.
Right. And I agree with you on the unity for sure because, like I said at the beginning, a lot of my first memories, early memories of me and Tz playing freaking, what was it, NFL Primetime? And he would not let me win to save my life, bro.
Yeah.
Tz never gave me a victory, my bro. I had to earn every victory I got. Like, I'll never forget my first time winning. It was off, like, I ran a kickoff back, and somehow that was the game. It was wild, but it was like, he let me earn every victory. But that's how me and my bro bonded, you know what I'm saying? And then with you, know, I feel we bonded the same way. Me and Doug.
It was with, at least between me and you, it was Super Smash Brothers.
Man, me, you, Doug, Ricky.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Shout out to my other brothers. We used to be up 4 o'clock in the morning.
Until the point where mom came home when she was working graveyard, and then we all shut it off. I've never ran up or cleaned up so quick in my life.
Man.
It was like 15 seconds, if that.
Right.
Shut down, cleaned up, lights off, like in bed, done.
Right, exactly. And it's just like, so like this style, gaming always just brought us together. I felt it was always cool because I remember that on the weekends as well, my mom's house, it kept us from going outside, getting into trouble, doing things that we probably shouldn't have been doing, you know what I'm saying, hanging out with people we shouldn't hang out with. We could help me connect with my family, bond with my cousins. We used to, have Madden tournaments.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's 6 of us here. Everybody pick your team, and y'all 2 play. And while y'all playing, everybody else in the background doing whatever they doing, MySpace, whatever the case may be. But it's like, it just brought us all together and gave us something to bond with.
Right.
So that's one thing that I really enjoy about it. And then something else you said is the getaway. Yeah. Always look at it as how people talk about the book, read a good book, let your imagination grow. And it's like, in gaming, you can do the same thing.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Definitely a lot of these games nowadays, like, you can really take some type of structure and make it work for yourself and have fun with it and do something different that was probably not intended for the game, you know. So that's why I really enjoy it. Like, for example, I'm playing Spider-Man, Marvel Spider-Man. Yes, you have these basic moves and stuff, but at the same time, the way I execute them is my choice.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That's
like
what makes it entertaining.
Freedom and creativity for
freedom
like what
into
you're
creativity.
giving.
Exactly, bro. I love the freedom into it. So, I mean, what kind of freedom does gaming give to you then in that way? 'Cause I know you play a lot of different stuff than I do as well.
Yeah. I was going to say, well, okay, to do another question before that for the both of us.
Yes.
What is your favorite style? Like, what's your favorite genre of game? Because I feel that plays into your question a lot more too.
Interesting. So my favorite genre, I'm not gonna lie, it's probably a lot of fantasy.
Yeah.
I like fantasy role playing where I'm a character that has nothing at the beginning, and by the end of the game, you're pretty much a god. You know what I'm saying, and you're running through stuff that at the beginning of the game was kicking your butt. And I think that genre always gets to me because it's low key like the story of life.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Of like what everybody goes through. You start off with nothing, no tools or anything. And then by the end of life, you got all that you wanted and more. You know? So those are my favorite type of games.
I'll probably say the same thing too. RPGs. It's just because I'll still never forget. There was one time I was playing Pokemon Gold at grandma's house. And I think I got to like the 4th gym or something like that. And I had to go, I just went back to my hometown just to see what was up, but I walked all the way back there. So then getting those random encounters right outside the beginning of the game, and you're just like, oh, growl at me, you trying to lower my attack, don't matter, one shot. Like,
It's too late now,
yeah.
I'm OP now.
But just seeing the way you've grown too, because I mean, don't you love like getting to a certain age and just reflecting back on your life and be like, man, those were some cringe moments, those were some tough moments, but then there was also some good moments, and then finding out like you had those questions that you had before, and then you get them answered. So I think RPGs kind of definitely like they really fit that niche or that that vibe I'm trying to feel. Just to go into another life where it's just more creative. It's interesting,
Right.
But an analog to that, which I've been liking recently, was roguelikes. So
what is a roguelike?
So a roguelike is you play the game in runs. So there's a start point and there's an end point. But every run is different. You can run the same map like 5 different times, and every one of those times will be different. So it really, you start off with like a base, and then you go through, maybe find a couple items or level up or something like that, and you have options to choose from at like a random pool. It's never the same. So you got to resource. Make do with what you have, and then go on to the next thing and like try to get as far as you can.
Right.
I just like that because it's like you're on survival mode. Okay, yeah, I'm dumped in this spot. What's going on? And sometimes that's how life is when learning like a new skill, or maybe you move out to a different like a state, a different location. Yeah. Okay. Well, now you're back at base. You have some knowledge. You can work some stuff out. Let's see what you can go find to make work for you and get you to survive.
Right. No, it's funny you saying that because I was thinking more of like relationships. Like every relationship is different. Like if you were to be a counselor, I know I'm doing the same thing. It's the same game. I'm here to help this person out, but it's going to be a different task for every person.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So everyone is going to change up.
And that's why I like it so much too, because it really opens your mind. You have to prepare for anything because any different situation is different. Every situation's different.
Right.
And like you said, it just relates to life. Maybe you meet somebody that's, has like a lot going on for them, but you're cool with them. Okay. And we'll give and take. I'm pretty sure I also have some stuff that's interesting for you to take on. So, form a relationship and the random things that may happen in that relationship. Maybe you have a falling out or a situation that's going to cause that. How are you going to get around it? Right. What do you have in your disposal? Exactly. And what do you feel like you should do?
Right, exactly. Or look, my other thought that always comes with gaming too, which, a lot of us don't like to admit, but the idea of I go somewhere and I'm not ready to be there yet.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? And that's one thing that related to life, same thing. Like you can walk into this boardroom, but if you don't know the lingo and the terms, you can't hang in this crowd. You know what I'm saying? You need to go back, get them skills up, get them XP points that you need, and then come back at a higher level. and then now you can deal in this situation, you know.
And the funny thing is, that just sets the tone for how you should probably live. Okay, yeah, you know that there's this wall, but they wouldn't put this in the game if it wasn't meant to get over.
Right.
And that you know that there is a way to get past it, so you'll do whatever you need to do, keeping that mind open on that track to get where you need to be, so you can get past that obstacle. Right. And then it's the next one, kind of like just keep swimming, you know.
Just keep swimming. Yeah.
Well, how the fuck am I going to get over to that island that's 500 kilometers away? Well, let me start with the 100, train, you know, do what I need to do. Maybe I meet somebody that teaches me how to swim better. Right. Okay, that cuts it down and makes it a lot easier. You know, it's just maybe a beautiful way to
farm something.
Yeah, maybe you gotta go farm something. Yeah.
Right.
So yeah, I think it's just past like the escapism. I feel there's a lot of things you can take away from video games and the situations that it puts you in that you can apply to life if you search for it, you know.
Right. No, and so let's go right to that topic then. Like, what is something that, like you said, past escapism, what is something you want to relate to a video game of life?
I would say first, what's the word? Resourcing. Doing what you can with what you have. There's always a way to get through something, well, but you don't always have everything. So what are you going to do? And it just like I said, it keeps my mind open on what possibilities are out there or avenues I can take to get to that goal.
Right.
And then also, even let's go into more of like the FPS and fighting game side, where it's more like reaction and skill based. Well, that just initiates practice. Once you do something over and over and over again, you're going to get results, and that transfers through games as well, just like real life.
Right.
And then I feel like, especially in a team setting, it also just mocks that for you.
Yes.
Yeah. So like, yeah, you'll get a new team, you're not in synergy yet, right? But like after a while playing with each other, you'll understand how they like to play. What's the ideal mission that you're all trying to complete in general, and then how are we going to work together as a group with other people to make this happen against another side that's doing the same thing.
Yes.
And I feel like that's just like a beautiful thing that I can just implore with, you know, my team at work or just my day-to-day, you know. So that's what I would say. No,
and I think all those are perfect, and I love the idea of the team aspect because you know, I'm just sitting here thinking about playing, you know, games like Apex or Helldivers or something like that, where sometimes you'll come across and you'll know that the people you're playing with have the same mindset as you. Yes. So they're actually, you know what I'm saying, like we're actually focused on the goals and objectives, whatever the case may be. But then other times you'll come across a team member whose goal is not yours, you know? So it's like, bro, you're just here for kills right now. Like, you're not even focused on the mission. Like, right now, you're leaving us behind. You're not waiting for your team, but then you're mad at us that we're not with you. Yes. You know, and it's like, that kind of blows my mind, and it just makes me think of, like, what type of person are you on a real team? You know what I'm saying? In real life. You know, you're probably that type of person in real life as well, where you just run off and
do whatever. Yeah,
and expect your team just to have your back, but it's like, yo, we have to work as a team, not an individual carrying people, you know, like, you know, this is the finalist, not John and the finalist, you know what I'm saying? So it's like,
I was going to say, to build off of that too, which again goes back into that teamwork stuff, because let's say you don't have comms and you're just hopping in with randoms, right? Well, if they're not going to play with you, well, the team still needs to work. So that's how you like think of a way to still play you, but work around them.
Exactly.
And once you find that flow, because you can find it sometimes even though the other person's irritating, but once you find that flow, okay, well, I'm going to just be on your back. I got you. I'm going to adjust. And learning how to adjust is that beautiful part, and then having it work afterwards is the reward.
Exactly. And I think that right there is a beautiful thing too, learning to adjust. Because I had a match like that the other day where it's like, I feel like we're not a team, so I'm just going to back up somebody. Yeah. And I'm just going to follow this person and back them up. And then you kind of felt that at some point this person felt that. Like, he knows, he's just backing me up. So, you know what I'm saying? He started backing me up a little bit. And it's like you felt the synergy start to kick in. And then there was other times where it was like it never came to play. The synergy never happened. It never worked. We was always just, it was a terrible round. We lost. Yeah. Terribly, you know. But another aspect in video games that I think that relate in real life that is probably kind of deeper is the faith aspect of it. So So my thought is it's been plenty of times. I'm sure you played a game where you're like, man, I cannot get past this part. This part is unbeatable. You know what I'm saying? There's no way around it. But it's kind of like you have to stop and tell yourself that there has to be a way around it, or it wouldn't be a game. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know there's more to this game, so there has to be more around it, And I think that's something that really, like, gets me too, that you have to apply back into life, that even though the situation I'm in seems tough and I have no idea how to get through it, there's a way around it. You know what I'm saying? There's something that has to get through. Maybe I'm missing something. Maybe there's a clue that I'm missing. Maybe there's an old skill from earlier in the game that I need to apply right here, but I forgot because I haven't used it in so long.
Right.
Like, it could be so many things like that. Like, I like a lot of games where you do stealth, and those games have a lot of times where you start off doing the mission, or, you learn something to begin the game, and then you can kind of apply it, but you really don't need to. But then at some point later on, they're going to make you apply that. And if you don't remember it, you're screwed.
Right.
So it's kind of like that thought of, okay, let me stop. Let me have faith that I'm going to make it through this game, because this game has to be beatable. You know what I'm saying? There's a reason this game exists. You know what I'm saying? There's an end to this game. So let me not get stuck in this spot and understand there's an answer. I just have to figure it out.
Right.
And I think that just applies to life so well.
And I was going to say, to kind of take it a little bit further too, and we were just talking about this earlier today when I came over, Blue Dragon. I saw you and Mom beat it, or get to the end to fight the final boss, at least minimum, right? When I got to the part like just outside of that, I couldn't beat it. And I tried to go back, and there was a point where you couldn't go back to train or anything. So it was like, I feel like sometimes the game forces you to start all over again and come at it at a different angle with a different strategy, and that you can do it. Like, you've seen it done before. You just have to figure out your way of doing it.
Yes.
And that's why I like roguelike so much too, because while you're on that run, that's random.
It's always a different angle.
There's always a different angle, but if you die and mess up and die, you have to start the whole run over with a completely different set of random items or situations.
So you gotta reset.
And then that expands on just adapting with what you have, and then also figuring it out different so you can get further the next time or beat that goal. And just knowing that you can do it as long as you put your mind to it, though.
Right.
Yeah.
I feel that. Mr. T's, what about you, brother? What did you feel like is something that gaming correlates back with life, or how gaming correlates with life?
Oh man, I'm gonna have to give you guys a monologue. Hold on, let me set this up. Let me set this up real quick. But hold on. Give us a couple seconds here. Do a filibuster until I'm ready here.
So about this tea, bro. Like,
I'll say this tea. Yeah, what made you get this tea, bro? Like, where's this tea coming from?
So it's coming from, shout out but no shout out, Jesse's Tea Shop. Saw him on TikTok, and it was just cool the way he was doing it with loose leaf tea, because I've always seen it in bags. So I wanted to give it a try, and like it was a whole kind of like ritual. And I feel like this is like a new, unique hobby that I would like, and it's something fresh again. Like, it's not an easy process just doing this. It's not as easy as getting warm water and then putting a tea bag in it. You gotta heat up a kettle to a certain degree so it releases the leaves. The first steep, you throw it out. That's why I got the little tea pets right here, because they be drinking with me when I'm alone. So share it with them, release that first steep, and then make another one, and then pour it out. And there's different ways, like you can add some other stuff to it, or share it with friends, things like that. It's just a really neat pastime,
And then how long does this last? Cause I saw that I haven't seen you refill that up again, but I have you keep adding water though.
So this one specifically, I probably put a little bit too fast. I think this is like our 8th steep. But this tea that we're drinking right now is, what is it? Oolong.
Oolong tea.
Yeah. So
Oolong.
Yeah, shout out to the DBZ fans if you caught that too. But essentially, this one needs to be at like a 212 degrees Fahrenheit for it to like release or get the good flavor. That's what it recommends on that little ticket. And then you can steep it like 5 to 7 times.
Okay.
Yeah. So What was your first question again about that?
About the tee?
Yeah, about the tee.
Oh, well, I was just curious on how long that would last.
Oh, yeah.
Like I said, you haven't replaced the leaves or anything, and I'm curious, is like, is it like a hookah? You know what I'm saying? As long as you just keep adding heat to it, it's gonna be good.
So no, it just depends on the tea. This one's 5 to 7. The green tea that I had, I think that one could have went to 11 to 15 steeps. So it just depends on the leaf, and that'll tell you how many times you can usually steep it and still get like the good flavor.
Bad.
Yeah.
And then where can I get this again?
Jesse's Tea Shop.
Jesse's Tea Shop.
Yep.
You saw him on TikTok.
Saw him on TikTok.
Bet you're gonna see his link in the bio. Shout out to Jesse for the tea. Appreciate you, brother. Hope you enjoy the free sponsorship.
Yes, sir.
So now we're going back to it. We got Mr. T set up, ready to get the camera in his face this time. So,
yeah, let's do it here.
Yes, sir. You got it, Mr. Producer.
Yep, yeah, we're doing it right now.
Yeah, this is crazy, y'all. Like, we're really shooting a podcast in my living room. Like,
Oh yeah,
I
we
love
gotta make
this,
it
you know?
organic. Yeah,
yeah, and it's like the 100%
shit.
organic. You can't get no more organic than this.
That part.
You know?
Yeah, so.
Ooh.
Oh dang, it looks dark, huh? There, let's change it. All right, cool. Hold on. Yeah, not sure what happens. See, that's what happens. You know, we're live.
We're
so
live. Yeah,
there's
we're live. We're
technical
testing it out, bro.
difficulties. It's like, oh, it's dark in that spot.
Right.
Let's figure this out.
When did we plan this? Yesterday.
Yeah, for real.
Yeah, a couple days ago. So. Yeah, so we'll just go wider with this camera over here, right? See, we're gonna do this on the fly here, so people know
Yeah.
exactly what you have to go through. See, look, the camera probably went out. See, look, you see that? I'm moving stuff, so the camera went out. So now I'm gonna go to that. Donovan's helping me. He's gonna plug it back in. Adrian's helping me. See, look, I'm not even looking. I'm just trying to figure out what the hell's going on here. All right.
See, another benefit of gaming, like you just gotta adjust.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, sometimes you just don't know what the hell you're doing or what the controls are. In this
on the
case,
fly.
we know what the controls are, but yeah. So now the camera got unplugged, so it turned off. So now just open that back up. It's gonna turn back on, and then in a second, you guys should see the feet. Look, oh, there it is. See that? Look at that.
Hello, welcome back.
Oh, so now we're gonna zoom out and go across like that.
Adaptation at its finest.
And now I'm in the shot. See, look. Oh, yep. See over here. Yeah, tilt that down or something. Yeah, like the screen. Yeah, this is real time here. We're doing this for real. It's like, I'm not sure what happened to I think it went down, the tripod. On the backside. You see how it's like low on the backside? Yeah, there you go. More, up more. Yeah, you got to lock it in. See, we're teaching on the fly and stuff too. Like this is so
Real
cool.
lessons.
Yeah. Yeah, that's better. And then now just tilt the camera the other way. Yeah, that's better. Yeah, we'll roll with it. Yep, this is it.
Cool. And then come in a little bit more over here.
Yeah, this is it. So yeah, I've been listening to you guys' conversation about gaming and the effects of gaming in life. Or I was thinking about it. Like I remember playing my Punch Out, right? Mike Tyson Punch Out.
Classic.
And that was like the first game that like taught me how to lose, right? Because you can never get past.
Mike Tyson.
Yeah, well, no, not even Mike. Shit, before that, like four
Yeah.
fighters in, Joe or somebody, you know,
Yeah.
like Slimmy Joe or whatever his name was. But yeah, it was just like, you know. And then when you play against other people, like at the time I was playing with another adult. I was a kid, right? I was probably like 4.
Yeah.
And I'm playing against somebody that's like 25 beating my ass, you know? So it was funny, like, you know, I remember just like crying and like, you know, just couldn't figure out what was happening. But those moments like taught me how to lose.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So like you're gonna win and you're gonna lose. Like you're not gonna win everything, right?
Right.
So, you know, how do you start? You know, how do you keep going? Like don't give up in that sense, right? And then and then even from a learning perspective, there was a system called Socrates. So I'm not. A lot of people have probably never heard of Socrates. So Socrates was like a gaming system, and that's what I learned a lot of my education on. So like when I was like 3, 2, 3, 4 years old, this is back in '89. You know what I'm saying? They had this system out, and I learned math, and I learned language arts, and there's a lot of things that I learned from that system. So like school was like easy because like I had already like knew the stuff from the game. Just playing the game because it was fun, it was interactive.
I remember those education games were always fun.
They always fun.
Yeah.
Yes.
No, absolutely. So, like I said, and they've been around. You know what I mean?
Right.
So, a few of us may have had access to them, but either way, that was definitely dope. But when I think about gaming, though, there are like a few other things that come to mind. I could think about like my favorite games and just moments and like I remember. I think I've maybe told the story before, but in high school when Madden first came out, like 2000. I mean, Madden had been out, but when the online play first came out, it was like the Madden 04 with Michael Vick on the cover, I think. And then, so we were, I basically took off like 2 weeks of high school, 2 or 3 weeks of high school. I like literally just ditched school and didn't go to school. I went to the homie Ray house to go play Madden.
Oh wow!
That was crazy. Just getting into that, and that was the first time you could like really truly connect with people on the other side, and but I think like kind of during that time, a little bit before that, GTA 3 had came out. So I remember when that first game came out, and it was like just kind of revolutionary, right? Like you could go and just shoot it was open world, right? It was like one of the first true.
Was that San Andreas?
No.
This is
GTA 3.
GTA 3, yeah, Vice City.
No, before that.
Oh, before Vice City. Okay, yeah.
5, right? Yeah.
No, so GTA 3. No.
3. So no, you had 3, you had Vice City, then you had San Andreas.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So when GTA 3 came out on PlayStation, that game like just kind of, I think, rewrote everything just as far as the capabilities of what you can do within a video game.
Yeah.
Just because there's fantasy games and there was RPG, but it felt like you controlled everything in that sense with GTA. And then even if you didn't want to, follow a mission per se, you could just like literally. You could play that game and not do one mission.
Not do anything. Exactly.
You know what I mean? So people literally bought the copy, put in some cheat codes to get weapons or whatever it was, and they literally just wreaked havoc across the city. And like that was the game for a lot of people. They'd never even started the story.
Yeah.
Right. No, for real.
Same.
So I think that was one thing that I learned from you though, because I never played GTA without cheat codes until I saw Trip beat it without cheat codes. And I was like, you can beat this without cheat codes? Like, I thought cheat codes was mandatory.
Yeah.
And he was like, nah, you made it play it without cheat codes. And I was like, oh. So then I finally played it without cheat codes for the first time. And I was like, oh, okay, this is a true experience now.
Yeah.
But besides that, though, nah, that's all I did. Cheat codes the whole time.
I mean, just get everything,
Blow
rocket
up
launcher
stuff.
somebody
Yeah.
real quick, and then just run around the city going crazy.
Hours, though.
Yeah.
No, for sure. Yeah, so like you said, that sort of changed things, and like you said, Vice City came out. Splinter Cell was super dope when it first came out. On I think it was 64, and then eventually came to PlayStation. And then I remember me and one of my good homies, Kenny, we like switched systems for a couple weeks because he had GTA 3 and I had Splinter Cell. And it was on the different systems, so like they didn't like. Eventually, they made it for the other system, but at the time it was just
one system.
Yeah, so we were like, hey, let's switch for a couple weeks, and like we both like beat the games respectively on our systems. But either way, though, yeah, just the way that, like you said, gaming can bring people together. Now it's a lot. It's more of a virtual thing, but like you said before. a lot of the times you'd have to go to your homie's house if you didn't have a certain game or whatever it was. So it's like it was a way to bring people together. And I mean, I guess as you get older, you start smoking weed and drinking and shit like that, doing cocaine, whatever it is. But either way, but I guess bringing up GTA to kind of get into it, I was thinking about this, and GTA is really cool because once again, you don't have to like necessarily play the missions, but there's a lot of characters within GTA, right? And so like as you progress through the missions, you get access to different like strangers and freaks, right? Or just different people that you can run into just through playing the game. And now that like all of a sudden it might get you some cash in your pocket. Sometimes you might lose a little bit.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, like, it like opens up, right? And then as you do missions, you could get to the certain levels and, open the game up even more and then start to unlock different skills, right?
Yeah.
Just based on your progressions within the missions. But I think a lot of us just never get past the start, right? You know what I mean? Like you get so distracted. There's so many things out there. It's like you're not following your mission.
Right.
So there's a lot of parallels in life between GTA and just real life in general. Like, granted, like we're not out here, stealing cars. Or, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like sniping people from roofs or whatever it is. You know what I mean? But just like it's like, all right, what character are you? Are you the main character or are you an NPC?
Right. That's real.
There's a lot of NPCs out here, and I don't want to get too deep into it, but it's just like, you have control of a destiny and your mission, but like, are you controlling your mission or are you letting something else control you?
Right.
Or are you just a part of somebody else's mission?
Right.
And if you are, that's okay. I'm not bashing or there's nothing. You know what I mean? Nothing derogatory about it.
Right.
But just once again, like sometimes you might go into a place or a scenario, and you can affect the room, right? When you go into a room, I mean, at least in my experiences, like I can literally walk into a room and it might have a certain energy, but then I like bring my own energy, and it just like, transfer. It changes everything. Like people start leaving. You know what I mean? Like the people ain't supposed to be there. They'll start leaving, and then a person might show up, and then now all of a sudden it's a good time just because you got there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And to me, like, that it's I guess a deeper spiritual thing sometimes, but then a lot, but not even to get too spiritual. It's just really about action.
What are you going to do?
What type of action are we taking? Like, are we just here and just, once again, reacting, or are we acting?
Exactly.
Yeah. And I was going to say, like, I feel like GTA definitely brings the factor of how life can be played in general. If you want to view it like a video game, you can just go around wreaking havoc, or you can just go around acting in the simulation, or you could actually have some goals or missions to get to you to where you want to go. How far you want to go is also like another dimension of it too, because maybe I just want to get this one thing, and then after that I'm gonna do what I want, and you can do that at any point,
Right.
which is a great just mimic on life. But it also just shows you, if you have a goal and destination, shit will change, and you can take advantage of different things or go a different path because of it.
Right. No, so that's interesting. I love how Triv used the word NPC. So for those who don't know what an NPC is, a non-playable character, correct? Yeah. So I guess I'm curious, like, to hear you guys' opinion on, like, what would be an NPC walking the planet, like in real life? Like, if you saw somebody, like, what would make you look at somebody like, that's an NPC right there? Because I mean, I hear people say it, but I'm always curious of it, because I do feel the same way as Triv, as in, when I walk in a room, I do feel like I can shift the energy when I'm somewhere present. I'm actually present. I feel like I can control the room. I can change the energy. I can make it a good time. Compared to, like you said, I don't know if an NPC will be the person at the gas station sometimes. I mean, you could be NPC in my head.
Yeah, through your perspective, but what's like an actual NPC?
Like, what would you consider an actual NPC?
I mean, okay, not to say this as, you know, if you're in this situation and like if you're in this situation doesn't mean necessarily like you're an NPC, but I feel the lack of initiative to do anything, and it's just like a routine, like where the person's life, I guess their life, they let their life become dull.
It's like sorry, when you said that, I just picture the cartoon where you see the guy wake up in the morning, hit the alarm clock, then he's in the shower, then he's eating breakfast, then he's, you know, driving to work, now he's working. You know, it's always the same face, and then he's boop and go back to sleep.
So, and like, again, it's not like we don't do that all the time, right? But then that's where it kind of goes a little bit deeper into like their motives. So if you're just doing that without any other interest that I guess you could spark a personality, everybody goes to work, wake up in the morning, eat, blah blah blah, but what are you doing outside of that? I feel can really tell. And again, it's such a weird nuance too, because hey, maybe again, like maybe you're in that point to where that is what you need to do just to get to your next goal. But I feel just the lack of anything outside of that makes you a unique individual as an NPC, where you don't really have your own thoughts. You just walking around and doing what's being said to you, or whatever the ads are always telling you, or the propaganda, or you know, you're letting life happen to you rather than you making life happen. Yeah,
interesting. I like that concept. What about you, Teez? What you think? I know you kind of explained a little bit, but
no, that was a good dissertation for sure. But I think that you know, when we think of a non-playable character in a game, right? You know, for instance, you know, you're playing San Andreas and you're Carl, and then you go to make that weed deal, and when you do that mission, you know, the guy's there to screw you over at the house or whatever it is. Or you go to the pool. It's like there's different people that are like a part of the story, but yeah, they're not being played, right? So it's almost like you're an extra.
But you know, something unique about that though too isn't technically, like, I guess by definition is technically everybody outside B is a non-playable character.
Yeah, no, that makes perfect sense, right? Yeah. So if you're in control of your own story, everybody else within the story, like you said, is theoretically an NPC,
right?
You know, but you no, you're you know, I think you're right about that, and I think that you know, once again, everybody has a different path, right? So it's not saying that, okay, yeah, if I wake up in the morning and I pay my taxes every year, and you know, I go to the same grocery store, and I, you know, go to the same bar after work, and I do the same thing over and over and over again.
Yeah,
there's no shame in that.
right.
Yeah, it's not like, oh my gosh, like, you suck. You know what I mean? You know, like yeah, it's not to degrade. We're just saying, like you said, just take control of your own destiny, right?
Right.
Yeah. So if people, if you can make your own story, or you could be a part of somebody else's story.
Right.
So if you're making your own story, then you're a main character.
Yeah.
If you're not involved with how the story is happening, then you're probably an NPC.
Right.
Which, you know, once again, it can sound derogatory, but it's not meant to come off that way.
It's just a classification.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
That's it.
No, and I understand that perfectly because, you know, as you guys are explaining it, like you said, the same type of scene. You always see the scene with the guy in all the offices, and he decides to stand up and say, "I'm not doing this no more," and then walk off.
Yeah.
And it's like that's what makes him step out from being an NPC to now the main main character of his story type deal.
Yeah.
So I can understand that the idea of taking control of your story. Are you taking control of your story, or are you doing what social media tells you to do, or what all these people are telling you to do? You know, are you, like you said, are you using your HI or are you using your AI? You know what I'm saying?
Are you still creating a story? Is your story over?
Yeah, are
Like,
you still creating it?
You don't have to be dead for your story to be over. You know, as soon as you stop having like aspirations for yourself, whatever it may be, I feel like that's when it really becomes you're an NPC.
Interesting. I love it.
Yeah, and I guess just to kind of interject on that too, I think when we have conversations like this, it's definitely cool because we're just literally doing that, right? Just conversating and exchanging ideas, but in no way is this like, you know,
Law.
Law. We're not trying to tell you how to live and how to do, because everybody's life is different.
Right.
You know what I mean? Everyone's gonna play the game differently. That's why they have customizations. You know, if you play Top Spin, you can make your own tennis player. You know what I mean? If you play, you know, 2K, whatever it is that you're playing.
Yeah.
I mean, for the most part, especially in the sports aspect of it, but even, you know, playing certain RPGs or whatnot.
How are you wanting to play?
Yeah, how do you want to play? Yeah, are you going to the good side or are you going to doing the bad side? That's why I liked Fable.
Yeah, I was just talking
Fable,
about that.
yeah,
Yeah.
Fable was such a dope game, especially when it first came out on the Xbox. It was so good, just because that was the first time where, all right, I could like do noble things, and then
And it actually affects you.
yeah, it affects me. And then now I start getting the halo, and you know what I mean. People greet me with respect or whatever, and I have this light energy that's just, you know, bouncing off everything, whatever. But then, you know, you go and play the game the other way, and you start growing horns and shit. And then, like, that was like really, to me, that was one of the first. I think that came out after. It was like around the same time as San Andreas.
Yeah.
But San Andreas was kind of like that too, right? You can like eat too much food and you get fat and all that stuff. So yeah, they were playing around with those ideas at that time. But Fable was, to me, was like one of the ultimate, like,
Because you had true consequences that also affected the story that you have to do.
yeah,
But it's going to be drastically different depending on whether you're good, evil, or neutral.
yeah,
And then what's interesting as well is they also have the Fables like San Andreas as well too, where you don't have to do the main story. You can just go do a whole bunch of side missions and side stuff, but it'll still affect you big time. Like I think I did the evil route one time, and it was some towns I couldn't go into.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like they don't let you in there without arresting you or trying to lock you up.
Right.
Yeah, I think that right there is amazing. But that right there is a great concept though. Like, you know, you are your fable. You're making your own fable up right now. You know, you're choosing the good or the dark side. You know. And I think that right there is truly amazing. So, so one question I have for both of you guys then is, you know, as gamers, what game would you say relates to life the best? If you had to pick one game out of all the games you played in your many years of gaming, what game would you say relate to life the best? Marinate on that topic.
yeah. I gotta think about it because, you know, I like I said, I definitely think deeply about the GTA. Right, we kind of talked about that, the Fable, but yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I gotta think about that for a second.
So I'm just gonna steal GTA then. So recently, I have been feeling like I'm living a GTA life sometimes.
Yeah.
Like you know, a lot of the stuff that I've been doing, I may not get money right then and there for my services or anything, but I know it's giving me respect. You know what I'm saying? I know it's building my character up. You know, I start to learn, like as I got older, I started to see that, you know, once I start doing new avenues, I'm starting to see new sides of the city. Yeah. Like I live in Las Vegas my whole life, and there's certain spots I never really mixed and mingled in, and now freaking I live in Summerlin. You know what I'm saying? Come from North Las Vegas, and I never knew it was all this stuff over here. And it feels like, you know, my map has grown now. You know, just like in GTA, when your character gets to a certain level, the map grows. So it's like, I feel like that at times. You know, the skill points is always good to learn, always good to see what skills I want to learn, what skills I don't want to learn.
Yeah.
You know, the interactions, like how Triv was talking about earlier, you know, a minor interaction where you just being nice to somebody could turn out to be this person is the reason, you know, in GTA, it was a person where if you date this girl, you'll call her and she'll help you get your health bar back up.
Yeah.
You know, and it's like that with this stuff. You know, I need some technical work. I'm calling Trevor Donovan. You know what I'm saying? Based off the relationship I built, I know I can call them and they can. Oh yeah, bro, do this, do that, the third. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I know I have people out there that I can call and be like, hey. You know, right now I can call up the homie Ming at the bar and be like, "Yo, I just need this, that, and the and he'll get it all set up for me and everything." Like, you know.
Oh yeah,
best of friends,
GTA
you know?
4 brought that in. That was dope.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah, you know. So I think that's one thing that GTA has always done for me, teaching me on life. And then the newer one is even cooler. Whatever the one we get the 3 people, Trevor and them.
Yeah, 5.
5, yeah, because you see how different lives can connect. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, yeah, this person looks like this, but he hangs out with this person, and this person is his partner in crime, and they do this stuff together, and they get leveling up together. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But then choices, big thing, choices. You know what I'm saying? You killed the wrong person at the wrong time. That mission gone. You can't do that mission ever again. And it's
Right.
like, dang, I didn't mean to run her over my car. Like I was trying to stop, but. So I was thinking, so yeah, I would always relate life back to GTA. It seemed like it's so many things that happens in GTA in life, and the same thing. I can be on my mission, I can focus on my mission, or I can bullshit all day long and have a great time bullshitting if I wanted to. You know, my side missions can benefit me. They can help me out in my long run in my main mission.
Right.
Because I think there were parts where, literally, if you help out someone on the street, they can help you out in the mission later in the game. But if you never meet this person, that option never becomes
not there.
available. You know, you still do that mission, but now it's not as easier if you had met this person. So, yeah, I think I enjoy that. That would be my choice.
I probably have to say the same thing. I mean, if we're just looking at how closely related to life it is, then yeah, because you also have this thing of the aspect. Those characters are just humans,
Right?
like they're just people, just like we are. And I don't know. That's just like a one-to-one comparison.
One-to-one comparison, yeah.
Yeah, no, exactly. Yeah, we spent 20, 30 minutes talking about that. So yeah, I think so. I mean, there are like other games that I like. Like, to me, like you said, when you just think about games in general, right, and why you play them. Like you said, there's certain games, like we're talking about earlier before the show. You play Spider-Man, and you could just sit back on your couch and relax and chill, because
Right.
that.
It's a
like
relaxing
it's just relaxing. Yeah, there's really no pressure to beat anything. But if you're playing Apex or COD or something, it's like, all right, I'm all the way up. Let me focus. Let me get in my good chair. And so I think there's different elements to that. And so like lately, I've been more of a passive gamer, I would say. Like I don't even like logging in to play against people in matches like that because like. Makes my blood boil too much, It's like, oh my gosh, like, and then especially too, like, I'm like a pre-noob, you know what I mean? With a lot of this stuff, like, I don't even like have the basic skill set, so that to try to hop in a match, and then it's like I don't have the patience to sit there and like practice in the, in the practice arena or anything either. So it's like. You literally are getting your ass kicked every time you log in. So like I'm like, man, I'm like done with the punishment at this point. It's like, and then it's gonna take up too much of my time to try to get good at whatever that is. So once again, I just start doing the passive stuff. And there's a game called Cities that I really like. You guys ever heard of that?
Yeah, cities.
Yeah.
Yeah, Skyline Cities, right, or something.
Yeah, City Skylines.
Did you show me that before?
Yeah, I showed you that.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So like, I played that for a few years, and it's cool because. Like, especially if I want to just relax, after work or after whatever it is, it feels like you're creating your own world in a sense, right? Like, because you literally, you start from scratch building this city, and then you got to, build the roads, and then you have to set your residential zones and your commercial zones and industrial zone. And, you start to see how the industry might pollute the land, and then if it's too close to water or other homes, it might poison people. So you have to have your industry kind of far out from your residential,
right?
And
sound noise.
Yeah, sound noise, all this stuff, and like every decision that you make affects people, and then even though these might be just like numbers on the screen, like you can like see the effects that it's having. So I think it just takes it to a more like macro scale, right?
Yeah.
Because like, you know, we know that okay, we need a place to live, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, whether you're with your folks or you got your own apartment or you got a house or a mansion or whatever, the first thing is like, I need a roof over my head,
Yeah.
right? As a human, and then a lot of times, because we get into this survival mode, we can't think beyond that.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like,
I was gonna say another thing, Minecraft. If you want to go from like the
yeah,
essentially like the evolution of humanity and then into like the modern era,
yeah,
because like okay, you get dropped on this world. Okay, punch a tree until it gives you wood.
yeah,
You gotta build the house. Okay, you can make tools from the wood that help you build the house faster.
yeah,
Okay, then you gotta go mine for ore that give you different things, and then you reach a certain oil or ore that basically gives you fucking electricity. So now
Yeah.
you can go back, upgrade your house,
Oh,
and
wow.
create like a village because there's also villagers in there somewhere.
yeah,
Make trades, and then now you can go to a whole different like dimension to a degree. Now it doesn't get that far, but
Right.
in real life, but I mean, essentially, you still get more access to different things, and then your technology increases with you.
yeah,
That's
yeah. So
interesting.
yeah, it's crazy. So like, you know, it might seem primitive if you look at it, but it's like it's fascinating because it takes you back to the essence of
Mm-hmm.
what it is to like be alive.
Yes.
You know what I mean? So like, you know, we chose to be here within this time, and you know, you have these experiences, but you know, once again, it's like you think about the survival and the roof over your head, and then it's like, all right, now I need transportation. Like, how am I gonna get from A to B? How am I gonna pay for all that? So
Yeah.
then now you're thinking about that. I mean, before that, it's like you get, you know, a lot of the times you get indoctrinated or trained into, I need to go to school and then I need to get a degree and I need to do this. And granted, I think education is important. Don't get me wrong,
Mm-hmm.
because you know, you only know what you know. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, and then, you know, I mean, what's that one saying? The known knowns, none unknowns,
Oh,
all
yeah,
that stuff.
Known
you know?
knowns,
Yeah.
known unknowns, and unknown unknowns.
Yeah.
The,
From
the,
Buddha.
and the known unknowns. Yeah. So
Yeah.
it's like, yeah, there's like all this, you know, knowledge and information out there, and we have to acquire that knowledge, but then we have to be able to digest
Survive.
that knowledge too, and use it to survive, and you know, and so that like a lot of the times too, um, you know, you get what you call street smarts, right?
Mm-hmm.
So like you can be real knowledgeable in different areas, but then you can't balance the checkbook, or you can't you can't ledger, or you can't like, you know, make fire or do stuff like, so, you know, I think that's, it's crazy because you have all this rhetoric and talk these days about things that are going on and happening, but you just think about the basics sometimes. It's like, you know, could I go catch a fish if I really needed to?
Yeah,
Do I know
right.
how to hunt? Do I know like what berries to eat if I was in the wild? You know.
Do I know how to purify water?
Yeah, exactly. Like we live in a desert in Vegas, so it's like we need to get the hell out of here. If you know what I mean, fan. But either way, I'm like, shit, there is nothing here. Like, yeah, we need to go. So, but either way, though, you know, not to doom and gloom, because it's not about that. You know, look, total solar eclipse is coming up, and
Right.
you know, these different numbers and all this stuff is happening within our world. But you know, at the end of the day, just to bring it all back, right? Playing these different games, Minecraft. Like my son loves Minecraft.
Yeah.
Like he plays in creative mode though, but he still has fun with that. You know.
And that's a whole nother side of life other than surviving. You
Yeah,
gotta be
exactly. Yeah,
creative.
so he don't know
Right.
nothing about survival. He's like, yeah, I want to create, which is good for
Yeah.
him. You know, at this
At his
age,
yeah.
yeah, let him create. Let him, you know, do what he wants to do. But either way, yeah, just like I said, learning the essentials, learning the basics, learning how things work, and just understanding how things happen on the whole level, I think gives me a different appreciation. I guess the last thing I'll say too, like within I kind of that vein, is that it's all about your destination, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, but it's about the journey getting to the destination, but you gotta like have a destination in mind of like what your journey is, right?
Right.
So if you don't, usually within all the games you play, there's a moral or an objective that you're trying to reach, right? Like that's really about. Like I mean, most of the games you play, they'll tell you this is the objective. Some of the games may not be clear about it, but there's
Right.
always an objective
Objectives, yeah.
to
It's
go
always
to.
the next step.
Yeah, so if you complete the objective, then you could go on to the next mission. So we have to like create our own objectives
Mm-hmm.
and just kind of begin with the end in mind. Even though you may not like know what the end is, it's just like a start. I'm thinking of GTA 5, Frank in GTA 5. It's like you come into his story and he's just a carjacker and works for a shady repo company. And so he's just trying to hit a lick or whatever, and then stuff happens, and then he starts getting into more money, and then different other things happening. But then at the end of the game, as Frank, you got to make that decision.
Mm-hmm.
Are you gonna ride with these two dudes that you were here with, or are you gonna take one out, or are you gonna take the other one out?
Mm-hmm.
But the choice is yours, though. Right?
Yeah.
And then it's crazy because in GTA, like if you don't save before that point, you literally can't go back and redo that choice.
You can't. No,
like, it's literally done. Like I'll never forget, I killed Trevor, and I was so hurt because Trevor is my favorite free play player. Just run around and stuff.
Yeah, for sure. The rampage and
him.
stuff.
And I was so hurt because I couldn't play with Trevor again. And I was like, actually, I ain't gonna lie, I deleted the game, bro. I was like, I'll go back and start over again. But I was hurt. But that is crazy though. That is wild, bro. I love that. That's what I'm looking for.
That connection.
There we go. Yes, the connection.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, that's really deep, bro. So, so another question for you guys then is, based off of like say all the games you guys played in your life, what is the game you suggest everybody go play?
Sea of Stars.
Look, I seen the text messages. I'm like, all right, let me go get this one real quick and see what happens.
I was serious, bro. So look, bro. If you're a fantasy RPG goer like myself, 100% go play Sea of Stars. It's just a beautiful story. The game mechanics, combat is just beautiful. The puzzles in there, the homage to Chrono Trigger or Secret of Mana, if you know about that. Like, it's just, and in the story and the character, like the dialogue in there is just beautiful. And the plot twist, I only reached one plot twist so far, but that shit had me standing up in my room going like, what is happening? Like I've never been this animated over a game in a long time, like since Blue Dragon.
Wow.
And bro, I'm still astonished. And that was today. That was a couple hours ago, and I'm still
A couple hours ago.
hype off of it.
I'm ready to go back.
Yeah, bro. Just 100% play that, and then to kind of go into like the why I say that in terms of like life, there's so many different options again that you can choose from for how you want to play each battle, or what you want to go do first before going to the main mission, or why you want to do so in the first place. Do you want to go explore, or are you just trying to get through the main story points? You can choose either, and it would both make the game possibly harder or make it more interesting or even easy or things like that. And I don't know, it's just a nice like fresh breath of air compared to what's going on out there currently, especially since everybody can be a game developer if they want. They just upload that stuff to Steam, and boom, you got people ready to download, pay for it, or if you just want people to play, put it up there for free.
So question.
Yeah.
I know this is a game you're hyped on right now.
Yes.
But out of all the games you played in your life, you be like, y'all need to play this one. I just want to make sure. You get what I'm saying now?
Yeah.
It's kind of tough, though. I know what you're saying, though.
Any of the Zelda games.
I agree with that one.
Any of the Zelda games except Breath of the Wild. it's something about the story, and like with Breath of the Wild, you only get like so many powers or tools, and then you can just play the whole game like that and not get that sense of accomplishment. With the older Zelda games,
You're forced through it.
you're doing combat, you're doing puzzles, and then you get new upgrades to your equipment that change what you have access to. And then you still also have side missions, creating relationships and getting rewards for enacting with the NPCs and stuff like that. But it's just the story that goes along with it, and then just the progression and the skill set and just the overall knowledge of the game. It made like the gameplay might not change that much when you're doing certain things, but because you have experience, not even just in levels like RPGs, but just experience of playing the game, allows you to make further progression on, especially when you reach the end where you have to use your whole tool set to get to that final boss.
Yeah.
And then you have to think on the fly because it's the final boss. You've never fought this dude before. He has a completely different skill set and like way to look at the game that you have to overcome.
Yeah, no, and I do agree with that with Zelda, because you get better as you play, but it's not like your character really gets stronger. It's just you learn how to play better.
Yes.
And you learn how to use the tools better. So
Yes.
I agree with that one. That's pretty cool. What about you, T? So I guess we can do two then. Current game everybody should play right now, and then your all time that you feel everybody should go back and play at some point.
Man, I don't know, man. Like, you know what? Like, I was thinking about it, and I like genuinely don't really have an answer for that because there's games that I like that like I know people aren't really gonna play. Like,
I mean, we're all different though.
cause like right now the game I probably play most is Disc Golf Valley on my cell phone. It's a disc golf simulator, and I like disc golf, so it's like when I play that game, it makes me feel like I'm really playing disc golf. So it's like, yeah, like it hits some sort of endorphin or whatever. It's like it does something for my dopamine level.
Right. It spikes it.
Yeah, it's like a spike for sure. I'm like, oh yeah, like oh, I can play multiplayer now, 4 people. Let's go. Like we're playing around,
Yeah.
So, but because there's a lot of classic games out there, and like I said, there's a lot of the classic category of it. Like we said, we talked about cities. That's the current game I'm playing. What else? Yeah, I don't know, man. You know what's a good game is No Man's Sky.
I knew you
heard
say
about
that.
it.
Yeah, you played that?
I also watched you play it.
Yeah. No Man's Sky is really cool.
Yeah, that's the one with like all the galaxies and stuff, right?
Yeah, so kind of the backstory with that is like 13 guys developed this game, or I think it was either 13 or 26 guys developed this game, and it's basically based on like a Fibonacci code. So the game like builds on itself. So it's never like this. Like there's all sorts of packs and things that people put out, and you could play those packs. They have like the basic, I guess, story per se of the game, but the game is never ending because the world creates itself.
Right. That's interesting.
Yeah, so like you could always go and explore and go to a different galaxy, go to different planets. Different planets are gonna affect you. They're gonna have different creatures, and just creatures and plants and whatever it is within a particular environment that you're on. But I'm trying to think of the word right now. I can't think of it. Like I said, it's based on the Fibonacci sequence, but it's a term that they call. No, it's not recursive. It's there's a type of synthesizer. I don't know why I'm not thinking of the actual fractal.
Oh,
fractals.
Gotcha.
Yeah, there you
Gotcha.
go.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, so the game is all based on fractals, and so they basically just wrote this code, and it will always keep expanding on itself.
Right.
So
That's sick.
theoretically, the game would like never end. Like they like literally created a world.
That's deep.
a self-sustaining world.
Yeah. So
really
which is affected from user to user. So whichever user like perceives the world is like what materializes within the world.
That's deep.
Is
That's
that
wild.
multiplayer or is it like one person?
It's a one single player.
It's just single
Well,
player?
it's single player, but yeah, you can log on and like I said, you can go to different worlds that people have created or have manipulated or whatnot, or like I said, people create just different DLC and stuff.
That's sick. That's actually pretty sick. Okay.
Yeah, so like that game is cool because it could be, once again, it's kind of passive because like sometimes there ain't really no like
Stuff to do.
concrete objective. You just kind of go and you're gathering stuff, and like I said, you're getting supplies and equipment. You go back to your ship, and then next thing you know, like you'll need those materials in another place that you're at, or even within the same planet. You might need it to get off, or your ship may need fuel, so you gotta like go and scavenge and do different stuff just to get that.
Right.
So yeah, it's dope.
That's dope. Okay, yeah. I know. I always seen the videos and stuff, and it looks pretty cool. And I remember watching you play one time, so I'm gonna have to check that out then. So my options right now. So two types of games. I guess it's kind of interesting now that I think about it. So I guess the type of game I've been enjoying right now is a game where you die a lot. So the two games I would choose is first of all, Helldivers. If you're not fighting for Super Earth, you fucking up. For democracy, baby. And then, but Helldivers is a great team game. It's cool right now. I'm gonna give it some time, let it expand some more because it just dropped. But I really enjoyed Jedi Survivor and this other game called Deathloop. So Star Wars Jedi Survivor, you're a Jedi, you get all these force powers and stuff. It's cool. I like about that game because it's like similar to Zelda. Your person really doesn't get. You learn moves and stuff, but he doesn't really get physically stronger or nothing like that to the point where you're one-tapping things that used to take forever.
Yeah, you still have to fight.
You still have to fight. You get better moves and techniques and whatever. So that's what I like about that. But I died so much in that game. Like I got to the point like I sit here and I fought the same monster for 3 hours straight. Yeah. And I just kept dying. Like I left, got dinner and shit, and came back and got my ass kicked for another 2 hours. Like bad.
It's like Dark Souls.
Man, like Dark Souls, yes. But Deathloop was cool too because Deathloop enforces you to die. So the theory of Deathloop is you're this dude, you're stuck in this time loop. Where you're living the same day over and over and over. And the only way to break this time loop is to kill 7 people within one day. But it's one of those games where, here, this is how you shoot, this is how you use your powers, have fun. Yeah. And you literally have to figure it out. And then they give you so much stuff to choose, but it's two concepts too. You get so much stuff to choose from, but you can only take so much to a mission. So you need to know what level you're going to, the time of day, the person you're about to go kill, is it going to be crowded or not, stuff like that. But also, if you die in the game, anything that you didn't save, you lose it all. So you can find you the most rarest gun you've been looking for, and let's just say you die in that loop, it's gone. And you have to go back to that same day and hope you can find it again, pretty much.
Because it's random every time.
It's semi-random every time. Some of the stuff is not, but a lot of stuff is, though. Yeah. So that's what I liked about that one. But then all-time game I think everybody should play in their life. If you haven't played, you're probably not human. Pac-Man.
Oh, Pac-Man?
Pac-Man. Pac-Man is the ultimate classic. And I feel like Pac-Man taught me the lesson too, like, you learn. Yes, I could do the first level the same way every single time. But at some point, I'm going to have to switch this up. You know what I'm saying? Because the NPCs are going to get smarter. They're going to be faster. You got to get that fruit if you want them extra points, that extra life. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, 3 lives and you're gone. You know what I'm saying? And Pac-Man was a game I think I could play for hours.
I feel like that's just a good introduction game into like gaming in general. Just the idea of like you will fail, but you will get better at doing something that you can't necessarily adjust.
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah. I was gonna, in the back of my head, I was like, Mario is pretty good. You know what I mean? Like for a universal game like that. When you're talking about just kind of like all time. Yeah. Like, simple concept, but there's like is expanding stories. But at the end, like you said, you're gonna fuck up.
Die.
Yeah, you're gonna fail.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, how can you beat that level? And there's few buttons now, especially nowadays, right?
Right.
Like, I mean, and I think that's what I like about what Nintendo's doing too. Is like they just kind of take their same code and just make it better and better and better. And then the graphics, so it's the same
Concept.
play and all that, but like the graphics is just phenomenal now, and like it's just different things about it that are cool for sure.
Right. No, I feel that one for sure. So, so let's go ahead and head into the end game then, fellas. So, I guess when it comes to relating video game to life, what is the ultimate takeaway you guys want to leave the people with today?
I got one for you.
Yes, sir.
So, growing up, I was a big gamer, right? Like I played a lot more video games in middle school and high school, even elementary. Basically in grade school, I was playing a lot of video games, and then, once I kind of got out of college and I realized, all right, I'm not gonna be a football player. My next thing was music, right? So I was fortunate that my uncle had a studio. Shout out to my uncle AMAC. He had a studio, and he's like, "Hey, why don't you come to the studio?" It started with my dad getting me a keyboard, and then my uncle. But either way, even when I got that first keyboard, that's like a game, right? Because it had an interface. Like I had 5 tracks that I could use, and one of the tracks was drums, and one of the tracks was bass. So there was 3 other tracks that I could fill with like different instruments. Whatever instruments I wanted within those other 3 tracks. So with those 5 tracks, I had to make a song. So even though I didn't really realize it, it was a game.
It was a game.
You know what I mean? To
It's
figure
a
out.
puzzle.
Yeah, it's a puzzle. It's like, how am I gonna put these in? And then same with when I started learning Pro Tools, right? It was the same thing. Or I think I started on Cubase, and then graduated to Pro Tools, and then just kept learning different things over time. Reason, Fruity Loops when it first came out, a lot of different software. But at the end of the day, the software is just a game interface to me. You know what I mean? So because they call them DAWs now, right? Digital Audio Workstation. Yeah, DAWs, right? So DAWs are cool because to me, I was already used to that interface. Like I'm used to
being on the computer.
Yeah, being on a computer, being in front of the screen and manipulating the screen with the controls.
Right.
So because I was already like predisposed to that, and like I did that, like I was fortunate enough to like turn that into a career. So like every time like I would like go and do that, even to this day. Like we got all this stuff over here, mixer and my laptop. We got 2 cameras. We got the interface. We got the camera interface. The power that goes to it. All this stuff is just like a puzzle, but it's like really a game. To be like, all right, we're playing a live stream game today. You know what I mean? So like, what
How
are we
gonna get live?
Yeah, how are we gonna go live? So, this fucked up, or that. Just always there's different problem solving puzzles, right?
Yeah.
And as long as you know what the puzzle is, and you can solve that puzzle and be a problem solver, because like that's what an engineer really is a problem solver, right? So like, it depends on what field that you're working in. You could be a plumber, you could be a computer scientist. Yeah, you could there's all sort. You could be a biological engineer, whatever it is,
Yeah.
But you're just solving problems is really what you're doing, and so the gaming to me exercises that muscle in our brains, and especially now, it's 2024, so a lot of the things that we interact with is digital. So and then once again, I got 2 young kids, and so they've grown up with Wi-Fi and cell phones and things in their hands, and they have no clue what it was like before that, and they never will and never care. You know what I mean? Like, and I don't blame them, because this was here. So like, I'm not gonna explain. Well, back in my day, son, I had to use Napster to download music, and that took 3 hours to download 2.5 megabytes of one song, on dial-up internet.
Right.
You know what I mean? So it's like, like, like whatever. Like it doesn't matter, and so like, where are we at today? And I think the whole gaming. To me, life is a game, right? You know what I mean? Like it is a game. Like it is something that you have to play.
Yeah.
You're playing, you're playing whether you think you're playing or not.
Exactly.
Even when you think you ain't playing, you're playing.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So you might as well be conscious of what you're playing.
And do something with it. Yeah.
Do it.
Yeah.
Just play it. Play the game.
Right.
That's crazy.
No, I fully agree with that. I fully agree with that.
I was gonna say, I think the video games are the reason why I'm so techie as well. Like you said, just manipulating whatever's on the screen with what you got, and I mean that goes with trying to crack games and download emulators to play a game for free.
Yeah.
That's how I learned how to manipulate the storage and files on the computer. And now I can transfer that to when I went to UNR for 2 years to study computer science. I already knew my way around the keyboard and understood where files and stuff were kept, which just made it easier for me to pick up. And like, do what I wanted to do at the time.
Right.
So, but for me, I would say kind of an analog to Triv, adaptability. It's let's go for like a multiplayer game, like team-based game. Well, half of your squad just got wiped. What are you going to do now? Well, you got to keep playing. You're just going to stop and let them kill you? You probably shouldn't, depending on the game, right? So, okay, what can I do and maneuver to make sure I can try to pull this game in my favor? Sometimes you can, sometimes you can, sometimes you don't. But when you do, you feel dope as fuck. You made a bad situation great
somehow.
For you to win and get past it.
Yeah.
Sometimes life just happens to you. What are you going to do to maneuver to make it into a winning situation, even though you may or may not have had some loss along the way?
Right. No, and I fully agree with that one. Like you said, the idea of you never know what's about to happen. You know what I'm saying? Like real talk. You can play Apex. You can have a game where you starting off amazing and then y'all get beat in the most dumbest way ever. And it's like, how are you going to react to that now? You know what I'm saying? Are you going to lose your shit and say, I'm done playing this game forever? Or are you going to lace up your boots again and say, all right, let's log back in and see what happens, you know? And I think that's what gaming has taught to me for sure is to keep fighting, you know? Because, like I said earlier, Triv didn't let me look at nothing, yo. Like, Triv let me, I had to earn every victory I earned, and I did it to you.
You know what I'm saying? It transferred to me.
It transferred right over. So, like, but at the same time, earning those victories, though, made them a lot more special, and then it made us better. You know what I'm saying? Like, I would never be this good as Madden or any other game like that if Triv hadn't pushed me and made me feel like, okay, when he's not here, I'm about to play so I can beat him when he gets back.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And it made me put in that work and put in that drive and that effort, you know, like, yeah, maybe it was gaming, but it applies to everything, you know, for the podcast. Like you said, we just made something out of nothing. You know what I'm saying? We
had some
flexible
problems along the way.
Yeah.
We fixed it.
Oh, no, for sure. Exactly.
You
so,
know, just being flexible. So, yeah, so I think that's one thing that take away from gaming too. And then, and then the other thing is just like I said, just have fun with it, man. Like, just have fun. That's one thing that I say to the kids every flag football. Like, you know, we're going to start off. I understand you're competitive, but the main thing is fun today. You know what I'm saying? I don't need you guys taking this too personal, crying and running home to your mamas and not wanting to play. Like, no, we're out there to have fun. Yeah. You know, so.
That's the main core gameplay.
And that's the main reason.
I feel like that's how most people start off when they get introduced into video games. This is fun. I'm having fun.
Yep.
Then you get good at it, and then you have some more fun, and then you reach a wall. And then you stop having fun.
Yeah.
Still have fun.
But
like, you can get stomped out. It can be frustrating. And I'm not saying you can't feel those emotions, but don't forget to have fun with the fucking game.
Yeah. And stop comparing yourself. You know what I'm saying? And that's one thing people do in gaming too. Like, you lose the fun because you're trying to be it's Timmy on Apex. Yeah, you're not fucking Timmy, bro. Like, stop it. You can't be that man. He's a legit. Like, I can't be him, so I'm just going to be myself. And enjoy my game and enjoy the time I have while I'm doing this right now. You know, so that's one thing that's taught me to be present, enjoy the moment, have fun. Remember why you're doing this. You know, if I'm playing this game and it's frustrating me and making me cry, I probably shouldn't be playing this game. You know, this is probably not for me right now. I shouldn't be crying this hard, having fun.
At best, take a break.
Take a break.
Take a break.
Take a break.
That's what I tell my son. It's like, hey, look, he's like, hey, can you come beat this or da da da? hey, just take a break and come back later. You know,
Mhm.
don't give up, but just take a break for
Take
sure.
a break.
Yeah, and that usually works. 9 times out of 10 times it works.
It works. Exactly. It works, man. So, yeah, I love it. So, does anybody have a gaming quote they can leave with us today?
A gaming quote.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Oh man,
That's a
yeah,
crazy
I'm
thing to
like,
ask. I
yeah,
don't know. I mean,
yeah,
I
I
was
need
not
time
thinking
for that. Like,
ain't nobody had like a game quote they heard and it's like, you know what, that is pretty deep.
yeah.
I mean, I don't have a quote, but I have a game that if you want to really just sit there and be like, what is going on? Like, it makes you feel some type of way. Kingdom Hearts. That's all I got to say. I don't have a quote for you.
Not Kingdom Hearts.
Kingdom Hearts.
Okay.
I don't know, dude.
Tease, nah.
Yeah, man, that's
What do you got?
tough.
I ain't got no one either.
Yeah, I'm like, yeah.
Honestly, I want to say, honestly, I think the best thing you said before, Triv said it already, take a break. You know what I'm saying? If once this game of life gets frustrating, take that break you need. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you take that break, come back, look at it from a different angle, and you'll start to see the new things you need to see. You know?
Okay, to piggyback off of that thing, right? Just like real life, where you're not gonna be the best at everything, stop expecting that in the video game.
Yeah.
There's not a certain way, and you don't have to be a this or that. Again, just play, just live,
Have fun.
have fun. Stop expecting it. Stop expecting yourself to be the best.
I like that.
That's how you have fun and live.
I like that. Tease, anything want to add to that?
Just play the game. Just play it. You know, I said it before. I'm just gonna say it, reiterate it. Like whatever game that you enjoy, play it. And it's as simple as that. Like, I guess just remember there's 24 hours in the day, right? So, you know, obviously there's a lot of paid gamers out there now. So, which is cool. You know what I mean? Like when I was in high school, I never thought you can make money off of like streaming videos, or you know what I mean, or streaming games or whatever it is. So, you know, I think sometimes we do, like I think you were saying earlier in the conversation, like you have games as like an escapism, or like you're just trying to kind of get away and things like that. But you know, to me, it starts to be the same. Like when you talk about like gaming versus like gambling, right? Or like alcoholism or drugs or any addiction that you go through. Gaming can be an addiction for you as well, because it's doing the same thing chemically, you know, with the dopamine, and it's a lot going on. So I think, you know, even just setting some time out to like do things for yourself, play your own game, and versus like playing something else just because whatever, you know what I mean? Because you know, there's quiet as kept, you know, we know people, we probably know people that play video games for 10 hours a day or however long, and consistently and they're not getting a cent for that. And you know, if that's what you want to do, that's cool. You know, people could do whatever they want to do. Like, I'm not judging you, but I just maybe take 10% or 20% of that time and apply it to
Your own game.
Yeah, your own game, whatever it is
life
that you're doing, and you know, make your own rules. And I think, you know, it may or may not be better for you.
Yeah. Right. Yeah, no, I fully agree with that. You know, take the time out and make sure you live this life, this game of life, not the one on TV, but your actual life. You're your own character. So where do you want your character to be at the end of the day? You know, do you want to be an NPC that just sells lemonade at the lemonade stand, or do you want to be the main character of the Grand Theft Auto with the mansion, the helicopter pad, the boat, whatever the case may be? You know, but the choice is yours. So yeah, you do that. You take that time, find that choice you want to make, and best of luck to you.
That part.
May the odds be in your favor. Yes. But with that being said, thank you guys so much, fellas, for joining us today. Tease, thank you for making this happen today. Definitely in this amazing room.
All good.
Shout out to
Jesse's Tea Shop.
for the amazing tea. We appreciate you, Jesse. Everybody out there listening today, if you have any questions, comments, concerns.
Sorry, it's Jesse's TeaHouse. My apologies.
Jesse's TeaHouse. Our apologies. Get that corrected. But you already know, any questions, comments, concerns, hit us up on IG, Facebook, Google. Make sure you check out the Vegas Vibration page to see other events going down. Shout out to Vegas Vibes for making this happen as always. And with that being said, I hope you guys had a marvelous day, a splendid afternoon, a wonderful evening, and remember to
just keep swimming.
All right, you're gonna see me turn this.